All right, so awesome. You're starting on the energetic chains, safe to be safe. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get the body ready. Then we're gonna go into the clearings. Then we're gonna get the body ready for post clearings, and then we're done. This one's gonna be a little longer for day one. So getting the body ready, we're gonna work at this. Day 14, we're gonna work at this, make it really fast. So basically just think of like your aura. Like so your aura's around you, right? We've got that, think of it almost like a protective bubble. Then we're gonna get a grounding cord. So you think of your base of your spine, think of like kind of a white light, white ribbon strip connects to the base of your spine, and you're gonna send it all the way down to the center of the earth and see a plaque with your name on it, like almost like attaches to it. It goes click, right? And that's hooking you to the center of the earth, and that's starting to pull all that energy down, right? And you got light coming from the top, coming down on you. It's pulling energy down, and now we're just gonna start sweeping that energy through our aura, like kind of letting go of the day. Just stay thinking like, hey, we're letting go of the day, we're letting go of the day. This light's coming down, filling us up. We're letting go of the day. Make sure we're getting behind us there. And it's all going down the grounding cord. Everything's just draining down. Draining down, draining down. Then we're going to think from the center of our spine. These are where all our chakras are going to be. But you don't have to really know the specifics of them. We're just going to think in here. All of this. White light's coming down, draining, draining, draining. Clearing anything out. Any gunk. You see gunk? You're just clearing it. Just like getting fleshed out down through your grounding cord. Just get that all flushed, right? And this is just getting you set up. Kind of got your nice auric barrier now. Your chakras are cleared out. Because we're going to kick off a warp gate. We're just going to start clearing out the gunk, right? So we're getting as clean as you can now, right? To then start clearing out the gunk. These setups are going to be quicker on the day 2 through 13, and then day 14 they're going to be super, super fast. But no, this is a little bit longer, but we're going to clear that out, right? And now we're going to be ready. We're going to jump in to day 1 of clearing safe to be safe. Hello, and oh my gosh, this is your first warp gate. This is fantastic. Okay, so we're going to be doing safe to be safe. That's going to be the setup statement. It's going to be, for example, all of the energetic chains that I have to my mom of is it safe to be safe? I release in my highest good, breathing here into your heart chakra. Then we're going to let that run. That's just an example. Now we're going to do it together, and then I'll prompt you through it. So with me, all of the energetic chains that I have to my mom of is it safe to be safe, I release in my highest good, breathing into your heart chakra. Then we just take a moment, we just let that go. We're letting that go, feeling in our body. Like, where did you feel it? How did things move? Did you feel it outside your body? Did you feel it behind you? Like, just notice what you felt, right? And we're gonna give you a little timer to just take just a little moment to just be with that. I'm just gonna let that go. Okay, so you're back now. We've cleared safe to be safe with mom. Now we're going to do that with dad. We're just going to compare the two. It doesn't matter. There's not a way in which it should happen. The key is just to compare them and see like, okay, mom was this way, dad was this way. They're two different people, and just notice the differences. You're going to start tuning up your ability to notice energy and the flow of energy, and that's part of it. And then also you just notice that things are happening, because we want you to get a visceral feeling of it happening in your body when we run off a warp gate, because it's going to radically start changing in your life. But it's going to be gentle and smooth. In like a week, you'll be like, whoa, I'm doing stuff I never thought I'd ever do, right? But it won't feel unnatural or weird or odd. Like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. It'll be just kind of naturally flow. So we want something in the moment that you feel like, oh, that was this way, that was that way. Okay, I'm doing something. And then you'll be able to connect it up a week from now when you look back of like, oh my gosh, I'm operating as a different person. This work that I'm doing is causing it. Because if you do it, it works. But if you just don't do it, it won't do it. So all I gotta do is show up, do the clearings. They're gonna get shorter. This is just a little prep to get you ready and a little explanation, but they'll be short. So all of the energetic chains that I have to my dad of is it safe to be safe, I release in my highest good. Breathing into our heart chakra. Just feeling it. Where in the body do you feel it? In front of you, behind you, pictures show up, sounds, And we're letting that all go though. We don't get fixated on what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what it feels like. We're just like kind of throwing out the trash. We just let it go, right? Just then comparing of like, oh, mom was this way, dad was that way. I'm gonna give you 8 seconds because they're gonna have that where it's like you're gonna have an 8-second break, right? When we're going faster. Now you got a little explanation, but it's gonna trim down. So I'll give you a little 8-second break. Okay, so you're back from the break, and we're gonna be doing energetic chains. It's not safe to be safe. I wanna get the flip, because sometimes even if it's safe, you have a resistance to it, and then not safe, you have a different resistance. And I just want you to see the difference between them. Not to mention it's gonna super clear everything out, which is super important. So we're gonna do for mom. So all of the energetic chains I have to my mom of, is it not safe to be safe? I release in my highest good. Breathing into your heart chakra and just feeling your body, how the energy moves, or it might feel outside your body. You might hear stuff, you might see things. You're just taking a moment to get present. Okay, what just happened? I'm gonna give you 8 more seconds to experience that. Okay, so you're back from those 8-second break. Now also know that's a time if you want to pause the video, you can pause it, because it might be like you're still feeling stuff and you're like, wait a second, I don't want to interrupt it. I want to just get this a little better. Also, we can slow them down. So that's another big thing. I'll talk about that in the grounding part after this, but that you can slow them down. And at any time, you can just be like, okay, let's run at half power. If it like feels like really intense and oh, and you're getting really emotional, just say, hey, run at half power, run at 1/10 power, 1/50th power. It will run, it will complete. And I like to say it's like kind of like, say you had like a funnel and the water's coming into the funnel. It's how much gets through the funnel. And if you overfill the funnel, it starts going over the edge, more water doesn't get through. So it's just, and then it's just uncomfortable. You make a big mess. You don't need to do that. Just say, hey, let's run this at 1/20th. And you can even do it later. So you can be, say 2 hours from now, because he's gonna run for 4 to 12 hours. You're just starting them, right? And you could be like, hey, I'm feeling really intense. Just notice, oh wait, I ran a warp gate today. Let's run it slower. Run 20th. Let's run that 1/20th. Just say 1/20th, and then it'll start slowing down. Just want to give you that thing. So let's jump into this one. Once again, these are going to be a lot quicker. I'm not going to have so much preamble. This is just to get you tuned up as to, okay, how the warp gate's running, then it's going to be fast. So all of the energetic chains I have to my dad of, is it not safe to be safe? I release in my highest good. Into your heart chakra. We're just going to feel that in the body, comparing what you felt with mom on the previous clearings. And we'll give you 8 more seconds with that. All right, so fantastic. You've just cleared safe to be safe with mom, dad, and then the knots of those ones. And now we're going to come back into our body. So we've kicked off warp gates and like everything's just done their swirl and things are going and we're releasing like crazy, right? So we want to just kind of do what we did in the beginning is reground. So we're going to send that grounding cord, kind of like unhook the one that was there before, release it, attach another one, that white strip going down all the way down to the center of the earth. See that plaque with your name on it? Connects into it, it's like boom, right? And that's starting to pull all this stuff down. All this stuff that we're releasing is pulling down. We're thinking the white light's coming down, flooding us, flooding us, flooding us, flooding us, going down on our back. And then we're sweeping it through our aura, right? And we're just making the intention of like, hey, body, mind, spirit, we're gonna do this throughout the day. We're just gonna ground out all these energies. We're grounding out the day. So we're just setting that intention. Then through our chakras, through the center of your spine, just think, washing it out. All that stuff that we released, we're just washing it out. And we're setting the tension that for as long as this warp gate's running, we're going to be draining all this down through our grounding cord, draining this all down. And that's how we're going to do each one. We're going to have the setup, like setup prep. We're gonna do our statements, and then we're gonna do kind of like the telling about what happens after that. Get a fresh, clean slate, right? Kind of come back in the body, so we go about our day while this warp gate is doing a ton of energy work, right? And then days 2 through 13, we're gonna make that faster. We're just gonna go through it. We're gonna do setup, clearing, setup, so it's quick. So we'll get to that like 5-minute mark, and then it's gonna get even faster because I'm gonna do a warp gate to do the setup. Take our 8-minute break or 8-second break, do the warp gate, 8-second, warp gate, 8-second. If you ever have to pause it, I mean, we're doing crazy fast energy work. If you need a couple extra minutes, pause the video. It's completely fine. You're not getting less than, trust me. Because once these things kick off, they're doing a ton of work. And then we can start moving these mountains, these gorillas. We're actually gonna start changing them. So great for you to be here. This is the first day. It's gonna go a lot faster, but it's gonna be awesome. So good job. Until we talk again, have a blessed day or a blessed night.